Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are happy to have you for the iGive Cause webinar this evening. We're going to get started because we do respect your time. So just a couple of pieces of housekeeping. This webinar will be recorded, as Sandy posted in the chat box. A link will be emailed to participants, and it will be posted on the iGive YouTube channel and at support.igive.com in the webinar archive. Participants, you will be muted throughout the webinar, but please ask questions. So if you click on that positive sign or negative sign where it says questions, you can put your questions right there, and we will answer them. We may respond at the end as opposed to during the actual webinar, but depending on what the question is, if it's really pertinent, we may grab it right then and there. And if your dashboard does go away, that little orange button with the orange arrow, with the white arrow, will expand your dashboard and will give you the option of adding it. So, moving on. So good evening, I'm Lena Scott. I am the cause manager for iGive.com, and I am joined here tonight by Sandy Schleicher.
Hello, everybody.
So we're thrilled to have you tonight, and the agenda for this evening, so you know what to expect. We expect that this webinar should take just about 45 minutes, and then we'll leave some time at the end for questions. We're going to talk about the power of iGive and social media, the different options and ways we can connect, and how you can connect and leverage our platforms. Then we'll go over some iGive basics, because we do know that every time we do a webinar, there are some people who are new to iGive who have some basic questions, and then we'll take your questions and answers. But again, as we said before, please feel free to ask your questions in the questions section throughout the evening. So, iGive has been around since 1997. I know that that's hard for some people to believe because they think of the internet as really a thing of the 2000s and the 2010s, but we've been around since 1997, and we continue to grow in all ways. We have more members, more retailers, and more causes every time we turn around. So our current total, we have about 350,000 members, and the typical shopper is raising about $100 each for their cause. We have over 1,700 retailers. I'm really hoping that our merchant acquisition team will allow me by the next time we have a webinar to push that to 1,800 causes.
We are so close.
We are so close. And really, if you haven't looked at our list lately, I can't believe that your favorite retailer isn't on that list, because I have found a way to buy almost anything using iGive. And we're at about 35,000 causes. And they're all types and all sizes, as you know. Some of you who are listening are probably representing big causes like the American Cancer Society or other big national causes, and some of you are local micro causes, people helping a small organization or a small group of people. And that's really the beauty of iGive, is that we help everybody, large and small. And really, the number I'm most proud about when people say, so what does iGive do? You work for this company, what do they do? Well, we enable you, our members, to donate over $8.5 million. That's like a huge number. So I'm really proud of that. I'm really excited about that, and I hope that you are too. So, how do we do it? Well, one of the best ways is really through social media, because the basis of iGive is like that old commercial, and she told two friends, and she told two friends, and so on and so on. The way that we connect and the way that we share what iGive works is really what makes iGive powerful, and social media is the greatest tool to help us do that. I mean, just look at this infographic. These are like the top ways that people are connecting: Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google+, LinkedIn. If you look and look at that bottom line about the active users. I mean, Facebook alone, 1 billion active users. How many times a day are you on Facebook, Sandy?
I try and limit myself to a short period during the day, usually around lunch, so I can make sure and wish happy birthday to people whose birthdays are in the evening after dinner.
Yeah, I think you're the exception rather than the rule, because when I look online, because I have to be on Facebook as part of my job, really I have a tough life here that I have to be on Facebook as part of my job, I see most of my friends are on all day. And sometimes
Hey, like I said, I limit myself to twice a day, because otherwise it's a total time suck.
It can be a time suck, but it can also be really productive, Sandy. If you're using these social media tools to help promote your cause and to help share with the people that you care about what you're doing and how it's making your cause more effective, then it isn't actually a time suck. It's actually a productive use of time.
Especially if you've got good content to share.
Ah, good content to share is critical. So where are ways that you can connect with iGive where we can help provide content Well, right now, we're limiting a little bit. We can't be everywhere. We can't be everything for everyone. But we are active on Facebook and Twitter. We do have a Pinterest site and an Instagram site, which we're growing, and we need your help. We'll talk about that part a little bit later on, but we could absolutely use your help, and YouTube. So we'll go into a little bit more detail about those, but those are the places that we can connect. So we say connect with us and watch your donations grow. Why do we say that? Well, believe it or not, we're a really data-driven company. We believe in looking at the numbers and drilling down. And one of the things we've learned, if you saw that first screen that we had on really early on, causes that connect with Facebook, 395% increase in donations. Sandy, you represent some causes. You work with some different causes. What are you seeing? Are you seeing that?
Absolutely. I'm involved in a couple different ones. Boy Scouts, our local troop, and our local church. And, they're two very different organizations. The troop only has about 25 families, but they're really, really active. And they really, really want to support things. So we get a lot of activity on iGive through them. And for the church, we've got a bigger group, but it's more hit or miss who participates. So it's very dependent on your group, but you have to keep messaging people. It's that old marketing thing where you have to tell people at least 3 times a message for it to sink in before they start remembering it and doing it.
That is absolutely true. So as I said, causes that connect their fan pages see an average increase of 395% more donations. So you're saying you have to keep communicating with them, but it's also important, I think you mentioned it earlier, to have good content. So announcing that your cause just got a check, that's good messaging because, hey, if I'm wondering, if I'm sitting here being a little skeptical and going, all right, is this iGive thing really work? I mean, I know I'm shopping, but I'm not paying anything more than I would pay if I went to Target.com or Walmart.com by myself. So is this really working? When they see the post on your page that says, this cause got a check, they're like, oh, wow, it really works. Promoting the join link. That's a great way too, because if you use your join link, and we'll talk about that a little more at the end too, but if you use your join link, it saves your supporters a huge bunch of steps. They don't have to search for you or anything like that. They can just say, oh, I'm going right here to support this cause. Also, news of how your supporters are helping your cause earn donations. I had a friend, I posted something that said, my daughter's a figure skater, and her skating team is a participant in iGive, and I bought something for a trip that we were going on as a team, and it posted on my Facebook page that said that I bought this to support this team at Facebook because I had enabled that, and we'll get into privacy later. We really believe in privacy, but I had said, sure, please tell everyone I did this, and all of a sudden I got people going, oh, I forgot to do that. I'm going to go online and do this. So it helps promote the idea that other supporters are doing things, and they can really help your cause.
So we're going to talk about this in a couple minutes, but there's 2 different ways that we can integrate with your Facebook and also your Twitter. I'm sure Lena's going to talk about that as well. Both at the cause level, where you might have a fan page dedicated to your cause, but also on your Facebook timeline and your Twitter feed. So I'm going to let Lena keep going, but we'll talk about that shortly.
So, actually, Sandy, now is your turn. Sandy's our Chief Technology Officer, so where I get confused sometimes about how to make things work, Sandy helps make it really simple for me, and he'll get on the phone with me and say, no, Lena, this is really easy. This is how it's going to work. So I'm going to let him take over how you connect your cause fan page to Facebook, because it really is really simple.
Okay, so like Lena said, it's actually pretty simple. We've tried to make it as easy as possible for you to do this. So the first thing that's important is it's got to be a fan page on Facebook. So we're not talking about your personal timeline. We're talking about you have got your personal account, you set up a page from that, and you're the administrator of that page. Okay, so in iGive, what you do is you go to your cause dashboard. So if you've never noticed, hopefully all of you already know this, but across the top of your browser, when you're on the iGive site, is a set of links to navigate to various pages on the website. And one of them says cause, and of course that takes you to your cause dashboard. You can see all kinds of statistics about how much your cause has earned, what pending, when you're going to be getting checks, etc. And on that page, there's two little white wings on the sides of that page. And if you click those, they expand out. And on the one on the left, you'll see that there is an option for connecting Facebook to your cause page. Okay, so when you click that, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to make you log in to your cause administrator site on iGive.
Before you do that, though, you get this page that we're looking at right now that sort of gives you some information and tells you what your choices are, and then you click Get Started.
Actually, you got it backwards. We have to make sure that you have the authority to do this for your cause. So you have to log in to the cause portion of the website. So every cause has a cause ID. It's just a number and a password, and your cause administrator should have that. So when you click on the Connect Facebook and iGive, first thing you're going to have to do is log in there. Once you log in, you're going to see that screen that Lena was showing you, and you scroll through it because it's going to just tell you about the steps and different things that we can post, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But you get down to the bottom, and there's a big old Get Started button. So you'll push the Get Started button, and what that's going to do is it's going to switch your browser over to Facebook. You're going to have to log into Facebook, into your personal account that is the administrator for your fan page. It's going to ask you some permissions questions. Do I have permission to get at some very basic account information? And the next permission question is very important. Do you have permission? Are you giving iGive permission to manage your fan page? And that's important because we can't post to your fan page without that. So you got to give that. Then it brings you back to iGive, and it'll ask you we're actually past this. So what Lena's showing you here is the login screen and the two permission boxes. Go ahead, Lena, forward. And then after you do that, it's going to read from Facebook what pages you administer. So you might have one page you administer, but some of our folks through iGive support multiple causes, and they have multiple cause fan pages, and you can actually set this up for each of them. So you choose the one that you want here. Go ahead, Lena. And the next thing is you're hooked up, and now you're choosing what you are going to have iGive automatically post to your fan page. So there's 4 basic things here. We preset it with the most likely options that our members want, and that's from experience. So once a week, actually the screen isn't showing you exactly correct for this. So we generally set it for once a week to post your registration link. That's what we call your join link, and we'll talk about that more a little later. It helps helps your supporters join iGive with the cause pre-selected. Saves them some steps. When people shop online, do you want that information to be posted through to your fan page? So that's something like, hey, Lena shopped at JCPenney to help the Buffalo Grove Ice Skating Group.
But you know what, Sandy, what's really important to remember about the supporter shopping activity is both the cause and the member have to agree.
Absolutely.
We really believe in respecting your privacy. So I have to say that it's okay as the shopper, and the cause has to say that it's okay as the cause before it appears on the cause page.
Right, and in fact, if the member doesn't give permission, it will simply say an anonymous shopper supported blank cause by shopping at JCPenney. Okay, so we are very concerned about privacy and security, and we want to make sure that members and causes know that. We can put a monthly recap post to your site saying how much was earned in the last month by your members, and when we send out checks, which is once a month, sometime between the 10th and 15th of the month usually. It is not set in stone, the exact date, but we can do posts as well saying, hey, Troop 67 earned $35 this month or is getting a check for $35.
Hey, Sandy, if I initially pick one set of choices and then decide that maybe it's too little or it's too much, have I set them permanently?
No, of course not. You can come right back in this page and change them.
Okay.
And I did want to clarify one thing there. I mentioned that the cause is getting a check for X amount. So I don't know if this is part of the webinar later or not, But just to make sure everybody knows, because it costs money to process those checks and send them out, we only send out checks when a cause has raised $25 or more. So money accrues from month to month until you hit that $25 mark.
Wait, is it just my shopping or is it everyone in my cause?
Everybody who supports your cause.
Oh, so
it all
everybody
comes
in the cause comes together
into one big bucket. As soon as you hit $25, the check goes out. But we do allow 75 days after purchases for returns to occur. So if somebody buys something today, stores usually allow up to 60 days.
Yeah.
And that's why we cover 75 days.
So you mentioned, you were just explaining to us how the cause posts, but what if I want it on my own personal timeline so that everyone who I'm friends with, who may or may not be supporting my cause, knows that this is a way to support what my cause is doing?
Okay, so again on iGive, using that what we call the eyebrow, that navigation bar at the top of the screen, there is a link that says Settings. You click that and it'll bring up the little top screen that you're seeing on the screen here that says My Settings. Of course, you can't see me pointing at this on my screen, but that's what we're talking about. And of course, the top right option there is Facebook Settings. You go in there, it brings up the screen down below, and if you say that you want to post your transactions or registration link to Facebook and how often, and you click that Update Settings, or it would say Connect to Facebook if you're not already connected, it will basically take you through a subset of the things that we just talked about with the cause. So it's not going to ask you about administrative privilege or any of that stuff. It'll just ask you about your own, being able to post to your own timeline.
You know, I'm going to digress one thing here because, you know, we're looking at the My Settings page and it says tax deduction status, and I don't know about you, but I'm getting ready to put my taxes together. If your cause is actually tax deductible and you click through on the tax deduction status and make sure your status says that you can deduct, you can actually print a report from iGive and give it to your accountant, and it counts as a deduction.
Yeah, no, the important thing to remember about that is it's money you actually received in that last year.
The cause received.
The cause received.
Yeah.
Not necessarily your shopping, because that 75-day delay comes into play there.
Correct. All right, well, I am the Twitter queen. My kids make fun of me all the time. I love being on Twitter. I manage our iGive2You account, so feel free to tweet me at iGive2You and say, "Hey, Lana, we love the webinar," because that'll make the boss happy too. And then people know that someone's actually listening to me. But I also have my own personal account as well. But I like Twitter. Why do I like Twitter? Because Twitter is a quick and easy way to get out to different people. And if you connect your Twitter feed with us, just like with the Facebook, then we can post your join link, we can announce activities, all the same kinds of things that we do on Facebook, we can do for you on Twitter. And so we really encourage you, if your organization has a Twitter, to go ahead and allow us to post on Twitter for you.
Well, obviously the messages are a little bit shorter. Right?
Yeah.
You have the 140 characters.
Well, that's until they change that on Twitter, and then we might be able to talk a little more. But you know what the key about Twitter is, Sandy, and I think most people miss this. The key about Twitter is starting a conversation. It's about talking. Really, that's the key with all of social media, is starting a conversation. So iGive has created this hashtag, iGive2You, and we want people to talk about how they use iGive to support their cause. So I didn't put the screen up here, but yesterday was National Make a Difference Day.
Today's National Drink Wine Day.
Today is National Drink Wine Day. We should probably have some wine after this webinar is over. So National Make a Difference Day, I tweeted out there, if you looked at our Twitter account, and I said, tell us what you're doing, because iGive believes that. So tell us what you're doing to make a difference today, and use the hashtag iGive2You. Sorry, it's not National Make a Difference Day. It was National Random Acts of Kindness Day. So, and as you see here, it was back in January, it was National Hug Day. I like that one too. So please, tweet, retweet your favorite quotes about giving, add our hashtag iGive2You, tweet an image of how your funds that are raised are helping. I know that I love cute animals. I love cute puppy dogs and kitties and other animals. Take a picture and say, look, iGive funds helped rescue this adorable dog.
Can't you do those little 6-second videos too? Vines or whatever?
We'll get there next.
All right, so hold on, I'm going to interrupt you. So what is important when you're talking about social media is you don't want it to be a one-way conversation. You want it to,
Correct.
or a one-way spitting of information out. You want it to be a conversation. And number two is you really need to vary the content. So if all you have going to your Facebook page is automatic posts from iGive
or your Twitter feed,
you're not going to have a conversation going with that. That's a part of your social media platform. You need to be doing other things in there to have conversations that people want to be looking for what you have to say and answer you back.
Absolutely, and you can retweet. You know, sometimes I retweet things and I then add a hashtag like iGiveDoYou because it's something that's cool. It's a great motivational quote or it's a great concept that someone else said, and I want to give them credit for that, but I also want to make sure people are thinking about iGive. So I'll just retweet that with the hashtag iGiveDoYou. So people are coming to our site just to look. So this is just a really quick, how do you connect to iGive? Back to that original page we showed you where you can connect to iGive either on your personal page or your cause page, and you would authorize iGive to use your account, and you would click on Get Started. And it's really simple. And by the way, if you have trouble with any of this, support.igive.com has a knowledge base, and all of these things are there in articles that will actually walk you through step by step.
And if for some reason you read the articles and you're still having trouble, just open up a ticket on support.igive.com, and our support staff will be right there to help you through it.
They are top-notch.
Absolutely.
So, why connect with us on YouTube? Well, we post recordings like this webinar and hopefully other helpful videos that you can leverage. You can share our tutorials with people who are not able to join our live webinars. You can introduce more supporters to the iGive concept, and you can teach your board members how to leverage iGive to support your cause. Also, periodically, we get featured on TV or do other kinds of things that we think are fun to share, and we put those videos up on our YouTube channel. So if you subscribe to the iGiveDoYou channel on YouTube, you would get access and notification that those were occurring and that those were happening.
And Lena already mentioned, but just in passing, all of our past webinars are on there. So there are other webinars that cover different content.
Yeah.
So if you want to peruse through there and watch some of those other webinars, we're going to do more of these in the future, obviously covering different topics. But if you want to kind of jump backwards to see ones we've already done, that's a great idea too.
Pinterest. I know a lot of people love Pinterest, and they can pin things to their walls that they love, that they want to buy. And you know what? It's never a bad thing to say, okay, I'm pinning this as something I want, but I want to remind myself I can buy this through a merchant that is affiliated with iGive.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yes,
I'm going to
sir.
interrupt you again. So you can see that this is really well scripted as I keep interrupting Lena. All right. So first of all, if you are a cause administrator and your cause needs stuff, Pinterest is a great platform for that because you can pin items, dog food, or whatever it is that you need for your shelter or your church or synagogue or medical, whatever it is, your school, baseball team, whatever. But the second thing is that in iGive, under your favorite stores, and I don't have a screenshot of this to show you, but under your favorites, if you mark a store as a favorite store, you get what we call is a
gift registry code.
Gift registry link, okay? And that is a link that anybody can use, even people who aren't signed up on iGive, to shop at that store, and your cause will get credit through your account. So if I just happen to see that on the Pinterest page for the local shelter that they need IAM's dog food, and they've listed PetSmart.com link up there, I can just click it, and I can go out and buy the dog food, and not only will the shelter get the dog food, but they'll get the donation too, and I never had to sign up for iGive to do it. So that's an extra little bonus we have. Great for using for wedding registries and bridal showers and stuff also. Just wanted to mention that.
And Pinterest is a great way to utilize that, absolutely. Instagram also. That same kind of link works great on Instagram. You know, we just launched our Instagram page, so we would love some help from you out there who love Instagram, because the more pictures and the more things that people post and the more people tag iGiveDoYou, the better it is. And here we see Gulf Coast Bank put up community rewards. I'll tell you something. while we love promoting the merchants that work with iGive, we also like promoting merchants who just are doing good in the world. So in this case, Gulf Coast Bank isn't an iGive merchant, but this member here posted it up there, and we wanted to share that, and we thought that was a great way of making sure that people know when their local causes are also doing good things.
We have a whole separate blog site that we have just brought online in the last month or so about merchants who are doing good things to help causes with and outside of iGive.
And if you look on our Facebook page, there's a link right there to that great blog. It's called Merchant Good Works.
It's also at the bottom of every iGive page. There's a link that is called Merchant Good Works blog.
Merchant Good Works blog. So come check that out and tell us what's going on
and we
in your world.
recommend that you any merchant who is doing good things to help causes, we support.
Absolutely. So as we mentioned earlier, Sandy talked about Vine. My kids are addicted to Snapchatting, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google+. There's all sorts of different options out there that are great ways of using social media. And the bottom line with social media is that it's about sharing your experiences in the way that works for you. So me, Snapchat, I think it's kind of goofy for me, but my kids love it. And I will tell you that my daughter, for her youth group, did a whole Snapchat campaign to raise money for a local teen homeless shelter. Wow. And they did it all on Snapchat because that's what they use. So however you use it, please go ahead and use it. And please use our hashtag, iGiveDoYou. Tell people iGive.com. Let people know what's going on and promote and talk. And again, start that conversation. And as I say, experiment, experiment, experiment. Throw things at the wall and see what sticks. You know, there's that old saying that there's no bad publicity. I'm not sure I completely agree that there's no bad publicity, but in social media, if you're trying to promote something good, try it and see what happens, because we're there to support it. And by the way, if you share that message with us and tag us or let us know you're doing it, we'll try and help promote you too, because we want to promote what causes are doing.
Again, social media is all about a two-way conversation, or better yet, a 20 or 50 or 100-way conversation, right? You just don't want to be putting out a one-way conversation. That can be a turnoff.
And we had a question earlier today that someone emailed in that talked about assets and logos and copy and imagery. Back to that page that Sandy was talking about, when you sign into iGive, and if you click on cause, and then you click on the wing that says cause menu and options, there are logos, there are flyers, there are posters, there's blurbs that you can copy. There's all sorts of information that is right there for you, and that part you don't actually have to be a cause administrator to get to that. Just click on it and they'll give you all sorts of assets, and please feel free to modify them, share them, use your own logos, put things into them to make them work. And if you do have suggestions for things that you think would help, or you've done something that's worked great, send it to us. We'd love to see it. Open up a ticket at support.igive.com and send us a copy of it and say, hey, this is a really cool piece we created that worked amazingly for our group, because, you know, that's how we learn what works for our causes, is by listening to people.
And some of those blurbs and flyers and stuff create a customized PDF automatically with your cause name on them already. There's some other ones that are Word documents that you can just edit as you want to.
Great. So, use your data and our email templates to activate your iGive supporters. You know, beyond social media, really making sure you're communicating effectively with your supporters, I think, is really critical. And Sandy, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about the data, because, again, you help us pull all this data together.
So, again, we're very concerned about privacy. So this is all assuming that your members, your supporters, have given permission to share their names and email addresses with your cause. But again, back on that cause page, on the left-hand wing menu, if you will, that's what I like to describe it, there is an option for your cause supporter list. And there's a whole bunch of different options. You can look at who supported you in what years, how much they've helped raise. You can look at your whole what do we call all of your transactions?
You can look at all your transaction details.
All your transaction details of where all the donations are coming from whom and when, etc. And one of the great features that is in here is we've got some predefined email templates that you can use that will when you click on these links, it will automatically select the supporters who have aided in some of these things. So if you click on the top one there, the thanks for being part of our last check, it automatically brings up a little screen that has all the people whose email addresses you're allowed to see, who shopped, and their shopping became part of the check, the last check you just received. And we give you some text that you can use or not use or modify, and it's just a simple matter of cut and paste into your own email and sending it out. We don't send out that email for you. We used to do that, but then it comes from iGive, and people are like, what's this? I don't want to, it's much better if a thank you or a please install the iGive button, or whatever the message is, comes from the cause itself.
So you have a lot of jobs, and here I think we're also saying please get prior shoppers helping again. So that's people who maybe shopped a long time ago and haven't come back.
Right, they haven't maybe shopped in the last 90 days as the dormant shoppers.
Or people who haven't connected their Facebook on a personal level.
That's right. And of course, people who haven't installed the iGive button. I know that Lena's going to talk about the iGive button here in a couple minutes, so I'm not going to go into that. But it's an essential tool for making sure that your cause gets every possible donation that you can get through iGive.
So then we give you this information, and basically all you have to do is cut and paste, really.
Yep. These are just suggestions. We give you the email addresses. That's in that top square. And then a suggested subject, which you can use or modify or write your own. And same thing for the message. But the important thing is to communicate with your supporters. You want to thank the people who have been helping you, right? Because people love to get positive reinforcement.
Absolutely.
For the people who have drifted away and are no longer doing anything, they don't mind getting a reminder once in a while that you would really appreciate it if they could help you out this way, especially since it doesn't cost them anything extra.
That's a key thing, is people ask us all the time, how often should we be messaging our people? And I would say that it really depends on your organization, but on average, I wouldn't message more than once a month, because I think if you message more than once a month, it really gets in their face and they don't like it.
Well, I'll tell you, we take the standard Facebook and Twitter messages, right? So you've got the once a week join link. You've got potentially daily, if people are shopping regularly, the activity. And that's actually kind of fun to see. If you see 3 or 4 people a day on your cause page that shop,
cool.
People really see that and they go, oh, wow, people are really doing this. Then there's a couple of monthly ones, the recap and the chats. Okay, so that's Facebook. Twitter's on the same schedule. And my church puts something in the weekly email that is always at the bottom of the email, talking about different ways that you can support. So I would actually counter Lena and say once a week. I wouldn't go more than.
Well, no, I was talking about these kind of emails, the revitalization.
Yeah, once a month. Yeah.
I think those would be about once a month.
Yeah. Well, because you're only getting a check once a month. So to thank people who helped make that check happen, and to thank people who maybe dropped off in the last 90 days, because that's a rolling window of 90 days. That can be a very good benefit.
So one of the ways that we try and make it simple, and Sandy and I think both mentioned this earlier, was our join link. So if you go to our regular iGive page, you sign up, you put your email address in, and then it tells you to search for your cause. So sometimes it's really easy because your cause is so unique that no one else has it. But if you're searching for Boy Scout troop, we've got thousands of Boy Scout troops that are listed, so it can take your supporters some time to figure out which one they're looking for. If
they even renumber, the same number gets used in multiple councils, so
it can get confusing.
Yeah, then you got to go sort by state and everything.
So one of the things that we do for all the causes is that you have a custom join link, and that custom join link is unique to your group. If you join using that custom join link, it pre-populates and it says join today, and you're going to help support Boy Scout Troop 67. And your supporter doesn't have to worry about any of that. Literally, this page that you're looking at is all they have to do to join up, unless they want to add the iGive button. But to sign up, that's all they have to do is come up with their first name, last name, zip code, an email address, and create a password.
So your join link was automatically sent to your cause administrator when you first listed your cause. But if you don't have it handy anymore, again, go to that link in the top header bar that says cause. And all of this stuff that we're talking about is available from the 2 slide out menus on the side of that page.
That cause page for cause administrators, guys, is probably the most useful place that you can go outside of support.igive.com. So by the way, I'm noticing not many people are asking questions. So please know that we're here and we're going to take some questions in just a few minutes. So please, if you have questions, submit them for us. So now is the time to talk about that iGive button. People get really confused about the iGive button. But I'm going to tell you, I love the iGive button. I think it is one of the best things that we offer. So the iGive button is a browser add-on that goes onto almost any browser that you have. Unfortunately, if you upgraded to Windows 10 and are using Microsoft Edge, it's not our fault. Microsoft won't let us add the browser add-on yet, but as soon as they do, I promise you, just give us a couple weeks once they let us know that it's an option, and we will have it. But for all the basic big browsers, Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, we can use the add-on. So basically what happens is as you see in that top blue square, you add it to your computer, and this little seed icon appears.
By the way, that is a seed, not an upside-down umbrella.
No, it's a seed. You kind of blow your dandelion seed, and it makes the goodness grow. So that seed icon is there, and 90% of the time, you're never going to notice that it's there. You're going to go about your business and do your own thing. Every once in a while, if you're on an iGive supporting store, you'll see that little green triangle that says iGive on, save more. It'll appear in your bottom right-hand corner. If for some reason it's in your way, click the little minus sign, hide it, it'll go away. But it's there to let you know that this is an iGive participating store. Every once in a while, like Best Buy, they want to actually have you say, yes, I want to use iGive. So a red bar will pop down at the top of your screen, and you click, yes, I want to use iGive, or if you just exit out, it'll go away, but then you will not be making a donation to your cause through iGive. But what's nice about this button is that it makes it automatic. You don't have to remember to sign in. You don't have to go to the iGive homepage first. You just shop the way you normally do, and if that store is a participant in iGive, it's there. The other nice thing about it is that if you go into a Google search or a Yahoo search, that same little seed will show up on your results for stores that are iGive participating stores. So it makes it easy for you to remember. Now, if you use the iPad or iPhone or Android, we have apps that make it easy, and you just have to open up your app before you shop, unlike the button where it's absolutely automatic. In the case of apps, you do have to open the app, but then you would open the app just like you're seeing here and click on the store that you want to. Again, this is one of those places where favorite stores is really useful, because if you know their stores you like to shop at a lot, you don't have to go searching through the app for that store. You would just click on your favorites, and it's right there, and you would shop, and then every purchase would earn. If you're not into apps, if you're not into putting extra software, or maybe you're using iGive at work, and
sometimes I was going to say sometimes businesses don't allow you to install
yeah.
software.
The other thing I will warn you is that some antivirus software will scream at you when you try and download the iGive button, because they're going to say it's a virus. Well, there is an article on iGive.com, on support.igive.com, that explains that basically what's important to know about how the iGive button works is that there's an anonymous ID code. So when I go to shop, it gives me an anonymous ID code, and it sends that anonymous ID code to the merchant. And then the merchant says, oh, anonymous ID 12345 purchased $30 here, and this 12345 person came from iGive, so they send a message back to iGive that says 12345 spent $30. Then our computers take a look at that and go, oh, 12345 goes to Lena. So Lena's cause earns this donation. I don't know what you purchased. That's between you and the retailer. I don't have any of your credit card information or any of your payment information. That's between you and the retailer. Only thing I know is what the sum total of the amount you spent and the store you spent, so that I can make sure that your cause is credited. And that little action of the communicating back and forth is sometimes what causes some of those antivirus software to get all upset and say, ooh, it's a virus. It's really not a virus. It's the way that we communicate with the store so your cause can get money. So, but some people are still not comfortable with that, and we do respect that. So if you don't want to install it, you can always sign in and shop by clicking on the links at iGive.com in an iGive email or an iGive newsletter. So, do you want to talk about Amazon for us for a little bit? Because Amazon doesn't work in the iGive button, and Amazon is different.
Sure. So Amazon has some special technical stuff, and I'm not going to go into all the details. But basically, when you go shopping through iGive at Amazon, we are allowed to tell Amazon that you are shopping for a particular cause, but we cannot tell them, we never tell them who's shopping, but we can't track that shopping at the individual member level. So we don't know that Lena made a purchase at Amazon to support the ice skating group, but we know that a purchase was made at Amazon to support the ice skating group. And also, Amazon doesn't allow the iGive button to automatically track purchases for them. So what we've done is we put a menu option on the iGive button. If you click that little seed icon, you'll see smile.amazon.com as an option. We're going to talk about Smile here in a minute. And that will take you to Amazon. You'll do your shopping. Your cause will get credit. But you're never going to see that show up in your shopping list as money you earned. It shows up on the cause list as money earned for your cause through anonymous Amazon shopping. Okay, but it's never going to say Lena shopped at Amazon and earned this amount.
Okay, so just to clarify, you either have to, as we see in the right-hand corner, click on the Amazon.com if you have the iGive button, or you have to go to the iGive website first and click on Amazon.com, or if there's an Amazon link in a newsletter, you can click on that. But you have to start at iGive first to get the credit.
It's not automatic.
It is not automatic.
Now, the next piece of what makes Amazon different is that Amazon, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, launched this program of their own called smile.amazon.com. Smile.amazon.com is great. It's iGive.
Well, it's iGive for Amazon.
It's Amazon's own version of what we do. So they have their own process for this, their own way of registering causes. It has nothing to do with iGive itself, but you can use both iGive and smile.amazon.com together, and we call that the double dip. Okay, so if you start at iGive or you click on the link in the button, that'll take you to smile.amazon.com. You select either the same cause or a different cause.
Well, I was going to say, Sandy, that's one of the things you see here on this screen was it says that I'm supporting the Ryan Briere Foundation. Well, the Ryan Briere Foundation is in memory of a dear child that I knew. And so what I do when I shop at Amazon is I support my daughter's skating team with the percentage that comes from iGive, and I support the Ryan Briere Foundation with the percentage that comes from Amazon, because the skating team isn't eligible for Amazon. So they can't sign up with Amazon, but the Briere Foundation can. So I can actually support two different causes all at the same time.
Yeah, Amazon. One of Amazon's rules is that causes have to be a 501c3.
Right.
So I can actually support my church through both. So I get the double dip.
So when you get there, when you get to Amazon, it's going to ask you to sign in with your email address and Amazon password. That's different than your iGive address and password.
Right. So if you've never shopped at Amazon before, you don't have one of those and you need to create an account. If you've shopped at Amazon before, you probably have an account.
And they do have Spotlight Charities. So if your charity isn't a part of it, consider choosing one of those or picking your own. But that is their own, and it is separate from the iGive sign-in process.
But we love that you can use smile.amazon.com and iGive.com together and raise even more money for causes.
That we do. Well, so now comes to the point of our evening. I think I told everyone that it would be just about 45 minutes, and it is 7:47. And so we are here, and I'm wondering if anyone has any questions for us. that we can answer.
So I see one here from Joan, and she said that she had. So first of all, I want to tell anybody, if you are ever having a problem with the site, with the iGive button, with the apps, with the you just have a question, go to support.igive.com. There's lots of information available in the knowledge base. You can search it. You can also open a ticket, ask a question, ask for help. We are happy to help you. So that is an important thing. Joanne's question is, she had the iGive button installed, and she went she went shopping at a particular store, and she never saw either the triangle in the corner or the red banner or whatever, and she doesn't know if her charity earned the money. So the first thing to know is that there is a place on the website.
You know what, let me see if I can just go there since my screen is live. We'll just see how we do
There's a
that.
place on the iGive website where you can see that your store visits were tracked properly. So you go to the iGive.com website, and again, in that navigation, yep, we're seeing your screen.
Oh, good.
In that
Just wanted to make
navigation
sure.
bar at the top of the screen, there's an option for stats.
Well, also before you do that, on your front page it says you recently visited. So, see, I was shopping for a trip this summer, earlier tonight. And so you can see that I was looking at different kinds of things. So if you click on, these are my store visits. Everyone gets to see what I was doing the last couple of days and where I was shopping. But these are the store visits, and you can see that I was there. So if your store visit is shown up here, that's a great first step and a great first sign that your store was being tracked. After you look here at the visiting.
Well, hold on. So if you see it in your store visits list and you made a purchase, first of all, we ask you to wait 10 days after your product ships to you, because some stores have a delay in reporting to us. Some are really quick. Sometimes we hear the next day, 2 days. Sometimes we don't hear for a week. It's all dependent on when the store communicates with us.
And it can actually even take 30 days, especially with travel, by the way.
Yeah.
So I put down, as you see, I booked a hotel. And my hotel isn't for the summer until the summer. So my reward for my cause isn't going to show up until 30 days after I travel. So that means I'm not traveling until July. It's going to be not until, it's not going to probably show up until August.
Okay, so assuming you've waited 10 days, 30 days, etc., and it still hasn't showed up, which is unusual, but it does happen. We have a way, we call it missing transactions. It's at the bottom of this same page that Lena is showing you, and there's a link down there for missing transactions.
But before that, you want to look and see if it showed up on your fundraising and stats reports. You can either click on stats in the upper right-hand corner or where I showed, and then, yep, down here at the bottom it says click here to report a missing transaction. So you would click on that, you type in the merchant name where you searched, where you shopped,
and it'll walk you through a wizard,
and it walks
asking
you through everything. So it's
information about your order and stuff, so that we can go back to the merchant and ask them to look through their records, so that as soon as we get credit for that transaction, we are happy to pass that on to you.
All right. Do we have any other questions here?
I don't see any others. If anybody has a last-minute question here, we are still open for business. If not, then I say,
well, let's
thanks,
give it
everybody.
just one more minute, and we really appreciate everyone being here. And please, again, remember, support.igive.com is a great place for you and your supporters to get most of your frequently asked questions, and like Sandy said, to open a ticket for things that you might be confused about or unsure about, and start there first and then open the ticket and let us know, and we're happy to try and help you. Monday through Friday, we try and answer during business hours within an hour or so. If you respond to us in the evening or on the weekends, it may take us a little bit longer because we don't work 24/7. But
So I also want to remind everybody that we will be posting this webinar to our YouTube channel, and also we have an article in the support knowledge base for webinars. So actually, if you go to support.igive.com and you do a search for webinar, you will find an article that lists all the prior webinars and has links to all of those. So that's another easy way to get to these.
So with that, if nobody else has any questions, on behalf of Sandy and myself and the entire iGive.com team, we thank you for being iGive supporters, and we're here to help your causes be more successful. Thank you so much.
And by the way, we're doing this same webinar again tomorrow no, we're not.
It's unfortunately, Sandy, that's actually over-enrolled. There are no open slots left for tomorrow's webinar.
Okay.
So keep watching, though, and we'll be doing future webinars on great ideas and great ways to help support your cause. So thank you so much.
But we will post tomorrow's webinar again on YouTube and on the knowledge base. So even if you can't join us, you'll be able to watch that.
All right. Thank you so much, and have a great night.